and protection of health and safety does the same thing. Mr. Speaker, the CS has contravened 5 articles of our Constitution. Whether it is parastatals or national, the back of the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock stops with the CS and nobody else. Mr. Speaker, agriculture and livestock is a very vital ministry. In 2022, this docket produced 2.5 trillion to our national GDP. And that is 21% of our GDP, Mr. Speaker. So anybody messing up with agriculture and livestock is messing up with food security and employment. Is messing up with national productivity. And is messing up with the health of Kenyans as a whole. And Mr. Speaker, if these are messed up, then it means the productivity of this country is messed up as well. Mr. Speaker, you cannot go without saying that governance is a key pillar to our government, both the 3 arms of government. And if somebody is found culpable, we cannot mince our words. And I want to say, as Honorable Badi says, if you love your CS, then let's vote so that this can go to the committee and do proper investigation. If you are saying those articles, those media outlets are not proper, then why are you defending now? Let's rise up and vote. Mr. Speaker, anybody supplying or allowing fake fertilizers to be supplied is punishing the soil. And all of us depend on the soil for productivity of food and health. The Speaker, the CS has been a disgrace, and I urge the House to support this motion so that it can roll to the select committee to do some further investigation. Mr. Speaker, dignity of our citizens depends on the behaviors and activities of these CSS, wherever they go, nationally or internationally. When the integrity and misconduct and performance is in question, then we all have to stand and say, let the parliament speak. And therefore, we are going to vote, and this is where I appeal to you. Let us vote and let parliament be looked at as people's representation who are serious and who are ready to stand for them. Mr. Speaker, if agriculture, the way it is being messed up now, with the fake fertilizers and floods, which will lead to poverty, excessively poverty, lead to disease burden, and will also lead to disabilities and mortalities. This is a serious issue that does not require partisanship. Let us all stand, vote for this so that it can go to the select committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield my time to another person.
Moses Kirima.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this very important motion as pertains to the impeachment of the Cabinet Minister. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the onset, I stand hereby to oppose the said motion because, Mr. Speaker, sir, the motion does not meet the necessary threshold. It does not meet all the ingredients and the requirements as it is supposed to impeach a Cabinet Minister. For it's very clear that the purpose of a minister, when it comes to a ministry, is to articulate on policies. But as it is now, the minister, or the question before this House is, it tests on the integrity, on the reasoning, on the logic of the issues before this House. Mr. Speaker, sir, This House is bestowed with the powers as per the Constitution to the powers which can be bestowed upon the court, the High Court. The powers of this House are those powers which are bestowed to the High Court. Mr. Speaker, if you look at Article 125 of the Constitution, it is stated clearly that the departmental committee, which has been given a responsibility to investigate issues upon fertilizer, has the powers to summon witnesses, to give verdicts, and this has been done. It's just waiting for the verdict from the committee to know who is capable of the actions which led farmers to suffer. By launching the minister, or by just impeaching the Minister of Agriculture, does not designate the committee, nor does not allow the committee to conclude its investigation as it's supposed. It's the high time that this honorable House should consider that the rule of sub judice is applicable in this House as it applies in no other case laws. Because if you look at what we are going to decide today, it's going to impact on the committee's decision. If it's that we are going to impeach the minister, that one square is going to influence the decision of the committee, and the way is going to be decided by the committee, because the main House, members of the committee are part and parcel of this House. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, if you look at what has been given to this House by the mover of the motion, it's just on general issues. It's on generalities. There is no provision which specifically has been pinned against the minister. General issues have been raised, but one question is very clear, and it has come out from every contributor in this motion, that the minister is not the procurement officer. The minister has nothing to do with distribution of the fertilizer. The minister has nothing to do with manufacture of the fertilizer. The minister is just there for the policy issues. And there is no law which says anywhere that the minister should carry what we call vicarious liability of the actions of his officers. So each person must carry his own cross. I hereby so that when the matter came before this House and they referred to a departmental committee, by the matter coming before this House, first it is owned by this House.
Order, honorable members, order. Order.
A speaker requires some protection. There is a lot of noise in the House.
Order.
And it is meant so that they cannot be heard. It's only going to the hands and I'm not being heard because of a lot of noise.
Order, members.
Consultation shouldn't be on the volume.
Order, member for MITHIKA Town. Order. Order, members. Can we hear the member on the floor?
Mr. Speaker, sir, what I'm saying is that when the matter came, the matter of agriculture and the fertilizer and distribution, and the way of the fake fertilizer came before this House, the matter was seized by this House to be part and parcel of the proceedings of this House. And the matter was referred to the departmental committee for purposes of investigating and bringing a report to this House. The committee has not been given that chance because it has not concluded its investigation. Now assume we go ahead and impeach the minister, and at the end of the day, the verdict of the committee come up with a different version altogether. Then all will be in vanity because the decision which this House, full House as it is today, would have taken will not be able to be reversed. In essence,
order,
the rule of prejudice, the rule of The rule of where we say that a matter which is being handled by a competent committee which has powers and which is a quasi-judicial, which has quasi-judicial powers, is being brought before this house, yet the committee insists of the same and it has the same powers. For it is a creature of this house, and what about the decision it makes, it is going to bind this house. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, in the nutshell, is that the provisions which are being quoted by the mover of the motion does not pin the minister per se. The provisions are just in general terms, just to make sure that it moves and it wipes the members' sympathy. Yes, we sympathize with the farmers who are affected, but who is capable of the issue? Who is involved in manufacturing the same fertilizer, distributing and making sure that it is procured to the extent that it's going now to mess the farmers? Is that the minister? The minister has nothing to do with that one. This is just policy articulations, of which cannot be what we know very well that it's supposed to be even an executive responsibility, general responsibility. And as for that, I pray that the powers of this house are similar to those of the court, and if the powers of the court can talk of the rule of prejudice, here we are. It should be considered, and we should not consider a matter which is pending before the committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I thereby...
Order, honorable members. Order. Order, honorable members. Order. Order, honorable members. Order. Members on their feet. Member for Nyeri, take your seat. Honorable Mukami, you've just walked in and you are looking disorderly. Honorable members, I had promised that by 12:30, the mover will be called upon to reply. Mover.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would want, out of my 10 minutes, to donate 2.5 to Honorable Mbui and 2.5 to Honorable Senior Counsel Otienda Molo. But very quickly, Honorable Speaker.
If you
okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I want you to note that whatever we are doing here, all Kenyan farmers have left their farms and they are watching us. And Kenyan farmers have already been disgruntled, Mr. Speaker. There are some farmers who bought fertilizer, and when they took it to their farms, their crop is failing. Mr. Speaker, as we vote today, let us vote with our conscience. Mr. Speaker, we have talked about this issue of corruption from time immemorial. And it is unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that after speaking in funerals, in church harambes, in birthday parties, we come to the house, and when we are called upon to make a decision, we make the wrong decision. Mr. Speaker, this one should be the day that Kenyans will know that this house understands its powers and can use its powers for the fact for which we were put here. Mr. Speaker, it's unfortunate that we have been here.
Order, members. Order, members. Order, members. Member for Keharo, break the Kamukonji. Order, members. Order, members. Honorable Kitur, take your seat. Members, order. We'll hear Honorable Mbui. Mbui, continue.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker, sorry. Madam Speaker, you see, what we are dealing with here is a major issue. And it is unfortunate, Madam Speaker, when you see members, they don't want to listen and they're already discussing their issues. Madam Speaker, it's unfortunate. We fought corruption from time immemorial. Today we have an opportunity to cast a vote that is going to tell Kenyans on whose side we are. Are we on the side of the people that are making phone calls in the night, Mr. Speaker, or are we on the side of the farmer, of the Kenyan that brought you to this house? Kenyans, watch and watch your member of parliament and how they vote. Those that vote against this bill